We'll call the meeting to order for the Cass Clay Food Partners Commission. And welcome anybody who is listening in or sitting here in the room. First of all, on our agenda is to approve the order and the contents of the overall agenda. So a motion to approve would be good.
Copperwood, so moved.
Second, Niesmeyer.
Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, then the minutes are in the packet that you received. A motion to approve unless there's changes would be good.
So moved, Copperwood.
Is there a second?
Second, Johnson.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. So I'm going to just read the mission one more time. We don't do this, I guess, every meeting, but it's good to remind ourselves what it is. So let me just quickly read it. The mission of the Cass Clay Food Partners is to improve all levels of community food systems and assure that residents have increased access to safe, nutritious, affordable, and culturally based foods. The partners actually are made up of three different arms, this food commission being one, steering committee, which a lot of the people sitting out in the audience is the steering committee, and then finally the food network. And that I think is in the process, the action network is in the process of kind of determining where we're going to go with it. So, all right, so let's start with introductions. Jim, you want to start in the end there?
Jim Capitan, Cache County Commission.
Mandy George, West Fargo City Commission.
Dave Steichen, Dilworth City Council.
Arlette Preston, Fargo City Commission.
Joan Copperwood at large.
Heather Niesmeyer, Moorhead City Council. Anna Johnson, at large.
Karen Engler, at large.
Paul Hinkle, City of Horace.
Jeff York, at large.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. Adam, I think you're going to talk to us a little bit about the resource review, and there's also, I believe, an attachment in our packet, attachment number 2.
Good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Adam Walterberg. I'm with the Fargo-Moorhead Metropolitan Council of Governments. And what we've been doing for the past year and a half is we've been taking a look at some of the resources that the Cass Clay Food Partners has put together over the past 8 to 9 years. So this just kind of a refresher. We have 2 kind of separate types of documents that we've developed over the years. These include blueprints that look at food systems from land development code perspective. And then also we have issue briefs and snapshots, which provide kind of a more of an overview on a specific topic area or local issue that's come up over the years. So today we wanted to talk about the residential gardening blueprint. This was first developed in 2017 and then amended in 2020. There are 2 parts that this blueprint focuses on. One is front yard gardening and also boulevard gardening. And with that, after talking about this blueprint, we'll talk a little bit about the Fargo Boulevard Garden Program that is in place now in the city. So in the blueprint, some of the reasons and benefits for front yard boulevard gardens, they include reduced lawn maintenance. They're beneficial for pollinator habitats, local food production, environmental education, and then also I think for some people just being able to have kind of a nice, pleasant gardening experience in their front yards. It kind of adds to the beauty of your property. And then to the right there, it's just some of the resources that we've looked at, some of the other cities that have residential gardening addressed in their zoning codes. They do come with some descriptions or images like this that show where you can garden and if there's certain restrictions or whatnot. Included in the blueprint there are a couple of incentive programs that address front yard and boulevard gardens. One of these comes from the River Keepers and their Resilient Yards program. It talks about xeriscaping and then native plantings that are beneficial to the environment and to the Red River specifically. Other programs include from the Cass County Soil Conservation District. There's guidance and there's also partial reimbursement for pollinator gardens. There's also some cost sharing for rain barrels, pocket prairies, and other practices, should property owners pursue those. And then also with the Clay County Soil and Water Conservation District, there's also cost share assistance for residents to establish pollinator habitats on their properties. So delving into the Fargo Boulevard Garden Program, this was actually modeled after Moorhead's program. I don't know the exact year that Moorhead started their program, but it dates prior to 2020. In May 2020, Fargo approved a temporary ordinance to allow for boulevard gardens in the city. This was made permanent by an approved ordinance in July 2021. And some of the plantings that are included include flowers, vegetables, and also native and turf grasses. A couple of stipulations in the Fargo ordinance. The first is that property owners need to check if there is existing covenants in their developments that would allow or not allow for boulevard plantings. I apologize for the picture, it's kind of overlapping the text there, but another stipulation, and this is on both sides, in Fargo and Moorhead, that you must contact 811 for utility locations so as not to plant over utility right-of-way easements, whatnot. A couple of other stipulations for Fargo: plants should not exceed 36 inches in height, and then if plantings are 30 feet from an intersection or 5 feet from an alley or 3 feet within a 3 feet radius of a fire hydrants, they can't be more than 24 inches in height. And then also no overhang or encroachment onto sidewalks, curbs, or roadways. Some additional stipulations. Any plantings within the drip line of an existing tree must be approved by the city forester. And a drip line is just where rain would fall off the leaves of a tree that's on the boulevard. Boulders or retaining walls are prohibited, but shredded hardwood mulch can be used to prevent soil erosion. And then also, kind of last year, just kind of a reminder that boulevards do remain public property. City utility companies do maintain right to access boulevards to perform work or access utilities, and also for snow storage in the wintertime. When Fargo did approve the 2021 ordinance, they also added the ability to for property owners to put in raised planting beds. With this, beds that are under 4 inches, you don't need a permit, but any raised beds that are over 4 inches would require a permit through the city. The beds also cannot be more than 1 foot in height and no larger than 4 feet by 8 feet. And then the placement on the boulevards, they can't be closer than 2 feet from sidewalks, alleys, and adjacent boulevards, and 3 feet from curb lines. And then the last two, this is just the raised planting bed permit application that can be found at the Fargo Cass Public Health website. And then for the city of Moorhead, you do need a permit for both boulevard plantings and beds here, so that can be found on the website as well through the city of Moorhead. And then lastly, these are just a couple of photos from Noelle that she graciously sent over to us. They're really, really pretty nice. One's from Daly Park there, and then a couple other pollinator habitats that you can see. Kind of looks like in the Woodlawn area, is that correct? Yeah.
Yep, you can see the water tower is just about a block north of my house. And then Daly Park, a couple residents in Moorhead approached the city about being able to convert that into a pollinator planting a couple years ago, and I think it looks really, really nice.
And that's all I have. Any questions? Happy to take them.
Questions or comments for Adam or anyone else? So clarify for me, if a city would want to pursue this, are there sample ordinances or just looking at Fargo and Moorhead? It sounds like Fargo's has more restrictions on ours.
They're both pretty similar. The blueprint does reference other examples across the country, but I would say if jurisdictions in our area were looking to implement the program, Fargo, Moorheads, I think they're both good templates.
Any questions? Thank you, Adam. So the next item on the agenda, I don't know, Michelle or Janice, when are you going to do this one?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
So we have a local producer spotlight with Calatin Family Farms. So Calatin Tahampagazi is here to share his experience in our community.
Wonderful. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Kaiton Tahampagazi. I came in Fargo 2007 as a refugee. So when I came in Fargo, the first challenge was culture, local and culture food. When there is food we cannot find in our area, so it was hard to be familiar with American food. My family, our favorite food was the one that's there, eggplant. We were not able to find them anywhere in the store. Okay. Oops. So as there, after for a while, we was able to find those frozen was coming from West, mostly coming from West Africa or Asia. So with those, we find we find what we're missing. But with the long distance to ship them, they're frozen and get defrosted and they defrost again. We eat them, but we find that they're not. The taste was not with the familiar one we know. And then for me, I used to keep thinking how I can make this better. I can find what I want. And then 2000, I think I get here 2007, 2008, I started, that's the first year, I was living in an apartment. I have my friend, I started doing my local garden. First plant, I get them from NDSU. And then I have my friend, Frank Casey, I think he worked around, that time he was professor at NDSU and now he's in different department. And when I talked to him about my idea, how can you grow vegetable or eggplant in here in America, because when they know how the season for farming here, I was tried many times as fair, and then tell me the light season to start up should be in March, and have it to be inside. That time he lets me use his backyard, and he was mentor to do that journey until I was first year for I grow the corns. Those are like Indian corns and like the sweet corns, but it's our favorite corn. And then also my eggplant. So that time was, the first year was very successful to have my own local food. I grow myself, and then I start to share with the friend. With those eggplant was made after I come with the proud, there's a little come for present. I was trying to. Hello, my name is Kaiton Naumhagaze. I came in America as a refugee in 2007. In 2017, 2019, I started doing research how African eggplant they can grow in Lady River Valley area. In 2019, 2021, my research was completed and my research was very successful. The eggplant, they can grow in Red River Valley nicely and in good size, and also even the Red River Valley sometimes is cold and the short term, the season for farming, they're still growing great. And everyone, I wish everyone can try to taste this eggplant. Thank you. So, after my backyard research completed, I have to join the farmers for holistic farming management. And time was, I meet with my classmate. But at the end of the class, we still have the same challenge. We don't have the land. We cannot have the land to access where we grow them. We know how to farm wood, but where? At that time, it was a big challenge for us, and we meet with another classmate. We're 5 people. So we think that's the time we create New Roots Farm Incubator Co-op. And that time when we started the New Roots Co-op, after we created New Roots, then we funded the land to lease 3 acres in Moorhead. That was for the New Roots Farm Incubator, and that time we have 5 people was graduated with the farmer. They have all knowledge, business, farming management, and they know all farming, anything required for the beginner farmer. Then we recruit another farmer, they can join us, we can be mentor for them. So our team was 11 people after that. And that this time was discussing how we're gonna find the land, and that's how after that conversation, that's how we found the land in Moorhead. So here was the first year in the New Roots. Was not lucky for me. That time first year was a little dry, and it was happy. The tomatoes started making the fruits, and the beans started making a little flower booming, and then was flood coming, and then that was a good experience for me when the place I was putting the beans. I was sit down how this will happen, and was a good challenge for me, but was a good experience. What to be expected when I'm farming for business. After the flood we would get again COVID was coming, but we're still able to farm with the longer distance. So maybe as we was a mask mandate, maybe in the farm was a good way to take a break for mask. So that time we keep working. So then in the New Roots, after when get the New Roots, this little presentation for what was going on in the New Roots. Maybe I need help. Thank you.
So Gallatin is our first farmer. Welcome, Gallatin. If you could start, we know that you're not originally from Moorhead and Fargo, North Dakota area. So if you could tell us where you're originally from, that would be great.
As you say, I am Carlton. I can say hello.
Hello.
Yeah. My name is Carlton. I originally come from Central East Africa, Burundi. Burundi.
So tell us. I'm sorry, Gallatin. Keep going.
So, Burundi, it's a little small country, but it's located of the East Africa next to the Tanzania, Congo, Rwanda, and most of the country they are known also in Kenya. They are known as the greatest for the tour. Also, Rwanda is known some for genocide, passage over there, and also Tanzania. It's known as great peace country for touring, especially they have a special great national parks. Also, Burundi also it's known most for the lake we call Tanganyika. So that's how Burundi may be known.
Tell us, Gallatin, why you wanted to be part of the New Roots Farm.
I am just to be the new part of the New Roots Farm as member. Also, I am a founder for the New Roots. After we took the class. After the class, we were taking that time. After class, we ran in theory, but we were still looking where we're going to practice our knowledge. We're going to practice our skill. That's how Werner and another 5 members was graduated at the same time. We came with this idea to create New Roots.
And tell us on your part of New Roots, what do you like to grow? What crops do you grow?
I grown the tropical eggplant. I grow tomatoes. I grow onions, green peppers. I grow mustard, green mustard. I grow beans. I grow beans, peas. So that's most the thing I'm growing for now.
So I think we're showing some pictures of the green mustard that you and your family grow. Could you tell us about that, what it tastes like and how you eat it?
This you can eat in 2 ways. You can eat lau as salad, regular salad. Also, you may cook them, you boil them, or you can fry them. Both you can cook them. So when they are lau, they smell like little fresh cabbage. Yeah. Also, another thing I forget to tell you, I grow squash, buttercup squash, and the winter squash.
Squash. Okay, so the mustard greens, they look delicious, or the pictures look really great. Where do you get the seed to get those started?
Eventually, the seeds was coming from home country in Asia side for the Nepalese community or Bhutanese community. They bring those seeds. They was ordering the seeds from home. But when they start growing the seed here, we become with the wise how to save the seeds. Then we don't have to get the expenses to start searching the seeds from overseas. Then we can save and keep the seeds in our area.
So Gallatin, tell us your favorite part about being a farmer.
The favorite part to be in the farmer, the first one is to be out with meet with the different people. Also, for my side, as I farm with my family, we can be together in the farm, working together. Decide with the farmers, which is we do for season. but most of the time we have another full-time job. With full-time job, it's one part gonna be away with the family, and also we maybe gonna be a family in a home. But in the summer, when we work in the farm, we enjoy to be out together. We work together, so it's kind of the. And another thing we're looking at, and we get another extra income coming from the farm. Also, as we are planning it to grow and to extend our farm. So that's it, some part for the fun and the growing income and get connected with different people and sharing the different idea and many exchanging the idea and how can it grow our from new route to another things.
So Cal,
Okay, so after that tour was done by the new route, after that we said we still growing as a new route, so we go as attending a farmer market, and before market we have to harvest, and next day have to wait what we harvested. Usually like in the new route, even you sell or you don't sell, we still have to record what if each farmer, individual farmer harvested. And even when we are doing Schedule F, maybe you don't show any sales you did, but you take it home, you save some money you are supposed to use to buy some produce. Again, in 2021, Kyton Family Farm was officially registered in Minnesota as a Red River Valley eggplant grower. So this was happened after 3 years to be in the incubator done. So we get enough. I'm confident. I don't need more support to be in incubator. So what's time to be hatching out? Because I would know how to bookkeeping, to record, was something a little harder a little bit, and find the market. So that time Kyton Family Farm was exit in the incubator, and then start doing my own farming. So after that, because I started to doing another research especially for eggplant, especially for extending the season, or what can make eggplant be better. Like first year when I was growing eggplant. As first year there is no market, that's why I have many left over. Eggplant was not harvested at all in the farm. And another thing was, that time was a good season. I didn't have to use irrigation. I was just depending on the rain. But that time also that research, first year for research was supported by Sustainable Agriculture Research and Education. While we're doing it, then we have to do the plastic mulch planting. So we did grow some eggplant on the plastic, and another with no plastic, and another with irrigation tape, another with no irrigation tape. So I was to balance where gonna be, which one is profitable and which one maybe survive with this climate change, which style I'm gonna go with. So I tried both days. I found with plastic mulch and the drip tape irrigation was very successful. I think with this climate change, I have both the way to keep my farming will be live, whether it's gonna be hard. So after to finish, I've done with the growing season, growing research, I have to go to the harvest and the processing the research. because when my goal was to have eggplant there available during the season, even after the season. But the cheapest for me is to sell much more as a fresh. But those are not sold. Instead to wash them, I would think how to process them. And I was after to work thinking how gonna get done available and how gonna be officially be eligible to put it to the market. I was have to get support from NCI by NDSU. I used their kitchen. They do mentor for me for we're using with a vacuum sealer. So with that, and then after that, we find out in the storage, then we find also it's very successful with another big step I made. So with that, and also from that there, my eggplant was, instead to say to have them on market only the fresh, also the frozen was available on Asian American supermarket. So until now, so after the season we're still able, our local and the customer, they still able to get the eggplant, local eggplant, different the one was getting in before this come out. So right now the customer, they have a choice to get it local or to get it the imported one produced. So everything we get there was by support by Northern Crop Institution, research by NDC was help a lot. Also another in the community, we have some local food parade was taking place back in August. So also Carleton Family Farmers participate in the donating the produce to share with our community what we harvested.
That was fantastic. And they got, yes? Oh my God.
Leslie is there.
Oh, they're so cute. Oh, more. You can give out markers. I'm kidding. I thought we got no more.
So after that also with the large eggplant we had, I was able to get connected with Greater Plant Food Bank. They was able to buy my produce or variety the produce I had. And I was able to provide it to them 12,000 pounds for all of tomato, eggplant, everything was in there. So this was another good way to help our community to get local food. Also, even I think of myself maybe to improve my farming, then local food can still be available most all of the time. So much when I deliver there, I was taking them in the crates and we have to split them in small boxes. They can have to feed the pallet. Also again, there is with the eggplant, because it was look like it's a new for some people, we're still able to do the taste. We have some cooked, baked, fried, so the people they can we did that in the farmer market when they're there. Like now we have, if we go to different places in a where we are invited to share our to let the community know how they taste. Even they hear eggplant, but most they are familiar with the purple eggplant, not familiar with the white one. And so this event was happened to the doubting Thomas Farm, she has my local plate. So was most of our area, Fargo Moorhead, we was having different people participating in the farmer market, and our eggplant was there, so people they was able to test the eggplant, and there was still another coming event again in September. So like even Fargo, when they have any parade during the summer, we're invited to share my hometown Fargo what we grow. Thanks. Before that, maybe this is the next I have cattle farm growing season. I have to updating for my customer what will be available and when the time to timing it. Like for now, the deal with they already contacted me for the super sugar snap peas, and now they're already germinating. So during summer school, deal with students, they're gonna have to eat the local sweet peas. That's what I have for today. Thank you. There is any question?
Any questions or comments? You really need to be congratulated for the success, both on the producing side as well as on the selling side. And it sounds like you are so well integrated into the community on both ends. So congratulations, you've done well.
Thank you.
Yeah, Heather.
Thank you. I also want to congratulate Calatin and his family participating in the Greater Moorhead parade and handing out produce. I think was the most original and absolutely fantastic idea. I was at the front of the parade, but I doubled back and came back, and hearing children hollering from the crowds asking for tomatoes and beans and things it warmed my heart. And there's hope in the world when children are begging for produce, when we are literally just littering the streets with sweets. And so that was outstanding. So thank you so much for being a local producer and all of the work and outreach that your family do with this wonderful produce.
All right, any other comments? Okay, going on to another community spotlight. Michelle or Janice, are either you going to introduce or?
Yes, thank you. So our next presentation is going to come from CASA. So we have Carla Hernandez and Corey Powell here to present.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Corey Powell Oliver, and I'm board member, director of communications of a Latino initiative nonprofit organization based in Moorhead, Minnesota, by the name of CASA.
And I am Carla Hernandez, the president and founder of CASA.
And we're here today just to tell you a little bit more about us and how passionate we are about closing the food gap, especially as it pertains to the Latino community here in Cass Clay.
CASA stands for Cultura, Amigos, Salud, and Ambiente. In English, that translates to culture, friends, health, and environment. We are an inclusive organization that is driven to make strong social impact within the Latino community of Fargo Moorhead and surrounding region. We are dedicated to raising awareness and providing resources to address ongoing issues.
And essentially, our mission is to empower Latinos. We are empowering Latinos to find their voices and experience representation in community, government, schools, and throughout public service agencies and providers. And we raise awareness of community resources and actively serve longtime residents and newcomers through events, direct services, and community partnerships. We also act as a social entrepreneurship incubator to help support Latinos build, and network with businesses and nonprofit organizations here in Cass Clay. And here's a list of a couple of the partners that we've developed along the way. We're looking to improve our list as time goes on.
Together, we are reclaiming our sense of community through the vibrant tapestry of Latino cultural events that we curate and facilitate. These gatherings serve as more than just celebration of our heritage. They are beacons of inclusivity and empowerment connections by providing a space where Latino traditions, art, and cuisine can flourish. We reignite a sense of belonging and pride along community members through these events. We not only honor our cultural roots, but also reaffirm our commitment to creating a community where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued. Together, we are weaving a tapestry of diversity, resilience, and unity that strengthens the fabric of our shared experience.
And here's just a couple visuals of the events that we've had so far. We do a lot of like cultural events, and you see a couple of our partners, and just you have a couple of our potlucks, or as we call them, convivios. Now, cutting to the chase, what are we really about? What is the problem, and what are the problems that we are dedicated to solving? Last year, we hosted many activities in our events where we asked what the Latino community feels is missing, and which was not the case. From our feedback on activities and surveys, we've conducted the following emphases: food sovereignty, communication, community navigation, and lack of representation. Now, for food sovereignty, the lack of food access in our community is a pressing issue that demands urgent attention. It's disheartening to witness the struggles that many individuals and families face in accessing nutritious and culturally appropriate food options. These problems are especially present in Latino families in the Cass Clay region. The repercussions of food insecurity ripple through every aspect of our community, affecting health outcomes, educational attainment, and economic stability. Community navigation centers around language barriers, and the language barriers faced by Latinos in our community present significant obstacles to accessing essential services and resources for families in their daily lives. These barriers not only hinder effective communication, but also exacerbate disparities in access to healthcare, education, employment, and social services. And another thing is lack of cultural representation and inclusion. The absence of Latino cultural representation in our community is a significant concern that impacts the visibility, recognition, and inclusion of Latino voices and perspectives. This lack of representation not only perpetuates stereotypes and misconceptions, but also deprives our community of the richness and diversity that Latino culture brings. And zoning in on solutions. We've identified lack of representation, language barriers, struggling navigating the community, and food sovereignty as critical problems in our community. But how do we go about providing solutions? We aim by repairing the community with activities to facilitate unification, inclusion, and empowerment. Closing the food gap by hosting Latino inclusive food drives and building partnerships to enhance our capacity and outreach in providing food access to Latino families and by providing educational opportunities. Eliminating cultural barriers through community navigation. Community navigation to us is demonstrated by acting as a liaison for Spanish-speaking groups to be connected with social, economic, cultural, and legal resources and networks to solve ongoing issues, case by case, in our region. Now, it's time for me to feed you more info about how we are more involved on food. Closing the gap of food sovereignty is crucial for fostering community resilience and empowerment. By forging partnerships with organizations such as the Great Plains Food Bank, we can actively engage the Latino audience in food drives, ensuring access to culturally relevant, inclusive, and nutritious food options. Additionally, collaborating in the development of the Moorhead Farmers Market and Community Farmers Market enables us to highlight locally grown produce and promote inclusivity by showcasing diverse culinary traditions. Moreover, by nurturing emerging Latino food businesses, we not only support economic growth, but also enhance access to authentic food experiences that resonate with our community's heritage and preferences. Through these concerted efforts, To these concentrated efforts, we can create a more equitable and vibrant food landscape that honors and serves the needs of the Latino community. We are hoping to explore more ways we can possibly network amongst the Food Commission to better raise awareness on the problems of food sovereignty for Latinos and improve strategies in our initiative to bring more food to families. And one step at a time, with adequate support, we will be able to expand our outreach, continue gathering and strengthening the lives of Latino families and individuals. We also will continue to build our capacity in hopes of changing the systems and conditions that make achieving our full potential harder, and to prosper and give our gifts to the larger community. And here I have a picture of the time where we actually were awarded the Austin Foundation. Thank you for your contributions. We're looking to on a monthly basis expand our capacity to be able to do more for the community. So we thank you. Now, as it pertains to future goals, we're looking to help enhance the capacity of our team, bring more members in, train community navigators, strengthen and build more partnerships to help us close the food gap, nurture funding relationships, amplify our events and services, explore Latino internships, fellowships, and job opportunities. Us as CASA, we are a part of a partnership, a food and ecology partnership based in Clay County, centered around a multicultural initiative. And essentially what we do is we host an Earth Partnership and Youth Stewards program in the summertime where we help create more of an inclusive educational experience for multicultural groups to learn more about urban agriculture, sustainability, and the like, so that the knowledge from our curriculum can help bring knowledge and opportunity for wealth within multicultural groups so that people can feed their families, but also we're also a part of partnerships to build community gardens. We're working on one in the 40th garden. We have partnered with the UCC First Congregational Church to create a Latino garden as well. And we have a couple more in our food and ecology initiative with Barasa Africa, the Indigenous Association, and many more in our organization to just help close the food gap. And we're zoning in on the Latino region so that they can be more involved and benefit from this as well. So bringing excitement back to urban agriculture by working to change narratives. We're really working on creating a DEI, very inclusive curriculum that welcomes Latinos back to just the knowledge of urban agriculture and sustainability, as well as every other multicultural initiative, just so that we can eliminate the stigmas, because urban agriculture and sustainability is a strong wealth component that can help really build families. And we really don't want anybody to be left out of that, and it's better to bring inclusion and be very sensitive to cultures and bring organizations involved so that we can help better relay the message. And another thing that we're looking to do is generate data on population, poverty, childcare, food sovereignty for Latino communities in the West Central area of Minnesota, as well as the Eastern Central region of North Dakota.
Home is where the heart is, and our heart is in the community. And we hope that that gave you a really good insight in where our heart is in the community and the impact that we're trying to make to include an inclusive community for Latinos.
And here are a couple of other pictures from a few more of our events. We've been very active within the Latino summits that have been going on for the past 2 years now, just being able to network with change makers in the Latino community to help us position ourselves more to provide more opportunities and access to certain resources. Here you see a couple happy children, happy youth, and just us popping up at Pangea here at the right center. And just this is what we aim to do on a monthly basis, is to begin in facilitating a safe environment for Latinos to be and help us cater to the needs of the community from there. Aligning ourselves as more of an amoeba, I like to describe. That might be a little too complex, to be honest, but really just adapting to the community, their needs, and learning from them what they need instead of us going in to say, hey, you need this. We want to hear from them and adjust accordingly. Gracias. That is us at CASA. And I would say Lastly, we hope this gave you a big idea of our dreams and the big hearts we have for our community. We would love to network and explore ways we can more practically focus on closing the food gap and be more effective in Cass Clay County. And a couple questions we have for you, and we can just stimulate the conversation, is just, what are some better ways we can collaborate with the Food Commission and anybody involved to be more active on this case? And how can we help you? How can we help each other, just as a community? And that's what we're all for. Thank you. That's it.
Andy has a question.
Yeah. Congratulations. Oh, sorry, Mandy, go ahead.
Thank you. So the city of West Fargo, we recently just voted to approve community gardens. Right now, the city of West Fargo doesn't have any city-sponsored gardens, neither does the Park District. And so what we would like to do as a city is collaborate with a group or organization to actually run the gardens. The role of the city, what we'd like to do is provide the land and a source of water, but then the city wants to step back and let whatever group or organization run it. And we've talked to some people. We don't have anything in place yet, and this is still something we're working on. And so as you were speaking, this sounds like something that could potentially be a fantastic partnership. So if you would have any interest in partnering with the city of West Fargo, we're looking for a group to partner with.
100%. We would love to partner, and anything that we can do past this commission, we can talk more about it and just work on steps to, make that happen. And we appreciate you extending that invitation.
Thank you.
I have a question.
I'd like to, along with Council Member George, Dilworth has also brought up the issue of developing some community gardens. I'm not sure where it's at right now, but it's on the radar. So don't forget about Dilworth.
Oh, no, we can't forget about
We're
Dilworth.
touching Moorhead, but and we work really well with the community. So, but I do have a couple questions. Ms. Hernandez, can you tell me what CASA translates?
Yeah, so it stands for casa, as in house, and it stands for culture, friends, health, and environment. That is what Cultura, Amigos, Salud y Ambiente stands for.
Perfect. How long have you been in existence?
We registered as an organization last May 5th. We have been going at this since 2021.
Is this patterned after some other place doing similar things, or is this your concept and your idea?
I'm sorry, what was your question?
Is this patterned around the country, this idea, or is this kind of unique to here?
Kind of, unique to our local community.
Perfect. And then what do you see as the biggest, so far, I mean, you're still fairly new, what's your biggest hurdle that you have to, I mean, I don't know if hurdle is the name, but a right way to describe it. What are any obstacles? I mean, we're all willing to work with you, whatever you can help the community, but do you see any obstacles that we could help you overcome?
I know we'd like to see more cultural events that could bring in the Latino community. I feel like it would be nice for us to just, be more culturally informed all the way around, learning from other cultures as well. Having a location where we can have a cultural diverse centered area would be nice. And that's kind of where we're trying to navigate and explore options to make something like that possible.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah, thank you for your presentation. I had not heard about CASA before, and I'm wondering what are some of the ways that you are conducting some outreach that you're trying to get the Hispanic community and others involved?
So I have went to the Nazareth Church in Moorhead, and I've met a lot of people who've connected me with other people that needed, assistance, whether it was translation, paperwork, overturning eviction, school, concerns that they're running into schools systems and whatnot. So it's opened up, one has led to so many different, so I've been able to outreach. We've connected with the Minnesota Council of Latino Affairs. We've connected with LEDC, just kind of finding different ways where we can get contacts, demographics within this area. trying to outreach in different ways.
Do you have a website or a social media presence?
We do have a Facebook, and it's actually Casa Cultura Amigos Salud y Ambiente, and we do have a website, which is
CasaMNND.org. So I could probably write that out and talk more. I should have put it at the last slide, to be honest, but yes, Casa CasaMNND for Minnesota, North Dakota .org.
Thank you.
Of course.
Any other questions or comments? You know, Corey, you were asking how can you support us? And I'm sitting here thinking about what our role could be with, especially now that we have two different groups here this morning. And I don't know exactly where we are with the Action Network strategic planning, but this sounds like there's pieces out there, components out there that we could help pull together and provide some kind of structure perhaps for
Absolutely.
those groups to be working together. I had no idea either of these two groups were doing the wonderful work you're doing. So if there's something, and I've missed the last few steering committee meetings, I apologize, but if there's something that we could incorporate into that Action Network discussion and pull in these groups that are out there, I think that would be wonderful.
And we would love to be a part of that conversation as well. Just any conversation around strategy, we want to be involved. If by means a possibility of us being able to be in those conversations. We're also looking to help enhance our team. Community gardens is a big thing for us. Also just finding new members to help up with our initiative. We have educational programs where we're looking to just combine urban agriculture and sustainability and closing the food gap with educational opportunities, which also can involve community work, which helps us in so many other umbrellas that overlap each other. So I believe there's so much room for us to work and communicate. And I look forward to, speaking with you guys and developing more of a sense of, what we can do moving forward.
Perfect. We look forward to it.
Awesome.
Yeah, Heather, did you have
Yeah,
something?
no, I just, I wanted to thank you for being here today with your outstanding presentation, but also for having a home in Moorhead and doing outreach throughout our region. I think it's absolutely outstanding and absolutely necessary. And so thank you for continuing to work in our region, and I absolutely look forward to keeping the network going and expanding.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Steering committee update. And you know what? I apologize. I did not include introduction of the committee members that are sitting in the audience here. Michelle, you want to start and go down the row?
Sure. Michelle Draxton, I am currently the co-chair of the steering committee.
Janice Tweed, I'm also a co-chair of the steering committee.
Noelle Harden with University of Minnesota Extension.
Rory Beal, Clay County Public Health.
Erica Frank, Clay County Planning and Zoning.
Eric Haig, Global Refuge.
Rita Yasadis, NDSU Extension in Cass County.
And Adam Altenberg with MetroCuck.
Thank you all. Michelle.
Wonderful. Thank you. So I will be providing some updates from the steering committee. So next week, we'll conclude the 18-month National Food Policy Council Community of Practice, of which the Cass Clay Food Partners have been participating in. So just as a reminder, the Community of Practice is a central part of a cooperative research project, which is being led by the USDA, Ohio State University, Johns Hopkins Center for a Livable Future, and Colorado State University, and it aims to better understand the regional approaches to strengthening food systems. So as part of the community of practice, the food partners will help guide research and the creation of resources to support other councils in taking a regional approach to food system development. And with funding from that opportunity, the food partners have been able to embark on strategic planning. That planning, the first session will begin at the end of the month here to identify new goals and priorities for the food partners. So prior to that first strategic planning session, a survey, which was sent out earlier this week, is looking to solicit feedback from members of the community to really help kind of guide that work. So hopefully you all did receive that survey, and I really encourage you to complete that survey if you have not done so already. And in regards to the Action Network, so it was brought up earlier, so I want to provide a little bit of update on that. As you might remember, the Action Network has been operating for several years with Food of the North, and they would host the First Fridays events. So that group did dissolve at the end of 2023, so we have really been taking this time to really figure out what that Action Network looks like moving forward. And I am excited to announce that there was a meeting held earlier in April, the first meeting of the Action Network, to really get that arm of the food partners going again. And it was decided at that month, or at that meeting, that the Action Network at this time is going to be sending out a monthly newsletter to really engage the community again around food systems related work, and to share any local updates and just kind of promote the local food happenings in our area. 2 members of our steering committee are going to be part of that Action Network group to really ensure that there is the same shared vision amongst all of the arms. And I think after the strategic planning sessions, that Action Network might look a little bit different, but we really want to still try to engage the community, let the community know that yes, there is this Action Network arm of the food partners. So hopefully you all received that newsletter as well. And the final update that I'll give regarding the steering committee, it was brought up at our last commission meeting to provide frequent updates on local food insecurity data. So in conversations about that, we agree that that is important. And so an update that I'll provide today is brief, but moving forward, we have some plans at upcoming meetings. But since January, there have been over 16,000 visits to the Great Plains Food Bank Food Pantry partners in both Cass and Clay counties. So again, since January, 16,000 visits. In September, which will be our next Food Commission meeting, that is also Hunger Action Month, we will be revisiting different data and statistics and really talking about what that food bank data really means. And the hope is to create a dashboard so that every month, or every meeting rather, we will be able to provide some food insecurity data to the Food Commission to keep everybody up to date and aware of the happenings here in our community. So hopefully you'll find that useful come September. And those are all the updates I have.
Any questions? Actually, I have one, Michelle.
Yeah.
So in regards to the survey and the steering committee that you put together for the Action Network, how extensively was the survey distributed to groups such as the Latino group, the New American group, and were you able to gather sufficient data from those different communities?
So speaking to the survey for the strategic plan specifically?
Right. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that survey was sent out to the listserv members that receive Food Commission information, as well as the listserv for the Action Network. So I believe it was close to 800 individuals or emails that received the survey. But by all means, we can do some outreach to ensure that we get feedback from all members of the community.
That sounds like that might be a good idea. Any comments, questions? All right, thank you, Michelle.
Yeah.
All right. Kudos and community recognition, which it sounds like West Fargo is on the table.
Yeah. All right. Yes. So since May of 2022, the Cass Clay Food Commission has highlighted individuals and organizations for their work in the FM metro area and the broader community. So this includes awards and recognitions, as well as state and local initiatives that support food systems and the values of the commission. So the first kudos and recognition that we'd like to do today is to the city of West Fargo for passing their backyard chicken ordinance. On April 1st of this year, the West Fargo City Commission voted to pass an ordinance that allows residents to have backyard chickens. Residents are allowed up to 6 chickens, and they must obtain a permit. And the city of West Fargo does join the cities of Fargo, Moorhead, and portions of Horace in allowing backyard chickens as permitted per the ordinance. So congratulations, the City of West Fargo.
Thank you. So I just want to say with the chickens, this has been on my mind since I was running as a candidate over 4 years ago. And, you know, I saw that Fargo had it, and Fargo was really a role model to me on this topic. Our commission was very divided on this, very adamantly divided, which has made it very challenging to get this passed. We did do a community survey. We had it attached to the utility bill as well as on social media. And it showed the community was also strongly divided, but the majority being strongly in support of wanting chickens. And over the course of my 4 years, this has probably been one of the #1 topics I've received correspondence on, is people wanting backyard chickens. So as a commission, like I said, getting it passed was very challenging. But because of education from this group, as well as Cass Public Health, it really helped tip the scales with the education, and we ended up getting it passed on a 3-2 vote. So we're very excited that it passed. It's been very successful. It's new, but we've already had nearly a dozen permits go out to the community. We haven't had any issues yet, and just people seem to be overall really, really excited about this ordinance passing. But thank you again to surrounding communities that have already done it, been examples and role models to us as West Fargo and to this group for all of the information and education on this. And then, as I mentioned before, I wanted to just mention that we did just very recently pass the community gardens, which is something else that this commission has brought to my attention, has been on my radar to pass. There has been, you know, a lot of education for me and a lot of people that have reached out on this as well with an appetite for gardens. And so we're just looking for a group or organization to partner with this issue. So we're excited about that. So thank you so much.
Wonderful. Congrats again. And then the second kudos and recognition is to Commissioner George. The steering committee would like to recognize and thank Commissioner George for the city, or from the City of West Fargo, for your contributions to the Cass Clay Food Commission for the past 4 years. Your term with the West Fargo Commission will end this summer. And while you are not seeking another term, definitely want to highlight your commitment here to the Food Commission. As mentioned, you were instrumental in bringing the topic of the backyard chickens to the City Commission in West Fargo, as well as the gardens. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Michelle. And thank you, Commissioner George. I'm so used to using first names.
I don't
I
mind.
apologize. Thank you for your service on the commission. All right. Public comment period. Do we have anybody online? No, doesn't look like it. Anyone in the audience that wants to bring an issue to our attention? This is now the time. Okay, seeing none, Commission and Steering Committee Roundtable, Community Updates and Meeting Reflections, and that has my name beside it, and I don't know what to do with this. Can someone help me out?
Yeah, I think it's just a great time if there's anyone on the commission or within the steering committee to share any updates.
Gotcha. Sorry about that. It wasn't registering with me. I do actually have one announcement that came in from Heart and Soul Mobile Cafe. If I can just read this, this would be great. The Heart and Soul Mobile Cafe starts up today at First Presbyterian Church in downtown Fargo. Heart and Soul is a community cafe operating as a nonprofit in the FM area. Their menu does not list prices. Instead, guests may pay what they can afford, contribute a suggested donation, volunteer their time, or pay it forward to help cover the cost of another's meal. Heart and Soul is committed to addressing food insecurities, building community, and providing delicious food to nurture bodies, heart, and soul. And you can visit Facebook or their website at www.heartandsoulcafe. Sorry about that. For more information. And actually, I have been to a couple of these meals, and they're wonderful. So I don't know if anybody else has. Any other announcements? Comments from anyone else?
I will add to the Heart and Soul that I have several
postcard size schedules where the Heart and Soul Cafe will be throughout the summer, and would be happy to distribute those for everyone.
Okay. All right, so future meetings, Action Network newsletter update. I think you already covered that, Michelle, right? Okay. And then reminder, there's no July meeting, but the next commission meeting is in September 11th of 2024. If there's no other agenda items, a motion to adjourn would be good.
Move to adjourn.
Second, Eastmeyer.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you much.